We have new details after we first told you Fort Smith Public Schools fired a band director following a special meeting last night. Police arrested today James Palmer on a charge of sexual assault. Police say they began the investigation after getting a tip that Palmer was acting inappropriately with a student. Palmer was a band director at Southside High School and Chaffin Middle School. He has bonded out of jail and is expected back in court next week. In Benton County, prosecutors are dismissing internet stalking cases after an undercover detective admitted to deleting evidence. Siloam Springs detective Ron Coble headed the unit investigating sexual predators. He was known for his undercover work, leading to guilty verdicts, but now prosecutors are dismissing some of those cases after he admitted in 2024 to destroying evidence in one of the cases. Ronald Russell was convicted in 2024 of internet stalking of a child, but his attorney says after reviewing evidence, he noticed things were missing.
It was clear that we were missing some messages between my client and Detective Coble. And when I asked the state where are these messages, Detective Coble told the prosecutors that he had deleted them.
Coble, the last one happening a week ago. Coble is still employed by Siloam Springs Police Department, though, in a new role. Told you about last night, pushback from students and lawmakers over a new U of A resolution that would divert millions of dollars in funding to the athletic department. A January board resolution directed campus leaders to find $6 million each year to go toward athletics by either offsetting cost elsewhere within the university or waiving charges. But now the university says a new approved plan passed this week brings the dollar amount down by nearly half.
The most recent board meeting that happened on Monday passed basically a new resolution, basically a proposed plan to generate an additional savings for athletics of $3.4 million.
That pushback is where the source of money is coming from. U of A student government pushed a referendum to the student body to voice their concerns over attempts by the Board of Trustees to raise tuition. You can see more student reaction on our website at 5newsonline.com. Little Flock's proposed tax increase ballot measure has officially ended in a tie. Benton County Election Commission confirmed the recount, meaning the tax increase failed. Last week, the ballot measure had 174 people for it and 174 people against it. Since it ended in a tie, it does not pass. City says the revenue would have been used to fund various projects. The results were certified by the County Commission today. At the Capitol, the Senate failed to advance a bill that would fund the Department of Homeland Security. DHS has been partially shut down since Valentine's Day. Democrats and Republicans continue to disagree on reforms to ICE enforcement tactics. Since then, workers with the TSA, FEMA, and Coast Guard have been working without paychecks. Long lines were felt at airports across the nation. Comes as DHS deals with a change in top leadership. Kristi Noem was fired, and the president nominating Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin to fill her seat. He will be at a confirmation hearing next week. Meanwhile, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt met with the president and Senate Republican leaders at the White House to talk about how he will fill Mullin's seat. Governor says he will not name a successor until after Mullin's confirmation meeting next week. Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern is the only candidate so far to announce his Senate campaign. In his final state of the city, Fort Smith Mayor George McGill says he's leaving the city stronger and with growing infrastructure on the horizon. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman shares Mayor McGill's milestones and what's next.
After 50 years in public service and 5 years as the mayor of Fort Smith, Mayor McGill says it's time for a new chapter. Fort Smith's State of the City delivered from the University of Arkansas Fort Smith, where for a final time, Mayor George McGill shared the city's accomplishments.
Fort Smith is a better place. I don't say that because of me. I say that because people were energized to do things. Investments were being made.
McGill served 2 terms. He made history as the city's first elected black mayor and has helped recruit big-name businesses into town.
Companies like Bass Pro Shop, they just don't show up out of the blue. companies like Sissy's Log Cabin Jewelry.
The city also faced its challenges during his tenure as the city's leader. The flooding in 2019 followed by the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's when I had a chance to see the real spirit of Fort Smith. I saw it play out live and in color. We're Fort Smith proud, but we're River Valley strong.
Mayor McGill hopes the next mayor will continue what he says he started.
If we stay focused and harness our energies with a purpose of building a city that our children, our grandchildren will love to reside in.
The mayor wasn't the only one celebrated. Clifton Culpepper won the Spirit Award for the city and has known McGill since he was 7. He too looks forward to who will lead next.
But I just trust and hope that they continue, like the mayor said, the momentum that he's developed over the last few terms, his last couple of terms.
As for what's next for Mayor McGill, he says he's not through serving the community just yet.
There are many, many things to do, and I plan to do some of those things, give some time and energy. Serving is a way of staying young.
Mayor McGill says the city's progress was not his doing alone. He also credits the people who call it home. In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Laura Castleman, 5 News.
All right, Laura, thanks. There's new hope for PBS programming to remain on the airwaves in Arkansas. The State TV Commission voted to pause the efforts to drop the affiliation with PBS. The commission previously voted to cut ties in December and rebrand to Arkansas TV later this year. Well, they said federal funding cuts were too much to afford the annual dues to PBS. Many people and donors have then voiced their concern with the decision, and there was plenty of that during the public comment period of today's meeting. PBS CEO Paula Kerger was also there and says she's all for more time to get more people to potentially address the funding problems.
We have a moment where the public is very focused on the fact that we really do rely on viewers like you. That isn't just a throwaway line on our air. And that if there is a way to really motivate people, and we've heard from so many, I'm sure you have those letters. I never realized, if we can motivate people to support us, that is going to, make a very big difference in the support for this station.
Kruger says PBS decreased their annual affiliate dues by $400,000 to offset the federal funding cuts. The commission now has 180 days to find alternative solutions for funding before the disaffiliation process starts back up again.